並び入手お願いいたしますね。どうぞ前の方にお願いいたします。
Well, hello there. I've got some time right now, so I got here to run a random spot nearby. Yeah, to wrap up the last 2 weeks. Last week was rather the same. People went partying. I went with them. Gotta say, partying is so exhausting, staying up till 5 a.m. and stuff, but well, the exciting part is like the current week, the golden week, the holidays in Japan, celebrating several different holidays at the same time. It's like one of the longest holidays Japan has, so they obviously gotta use them. Like today is May 5th, and today is Children's Day. And in Japan it's very special. It's probably just as special as Mother's Day, so they have their own holiday. Because kids got nothing else to do than studying and working for society. So yeah, gotta have something, right? Yeah, I'm in Arashiyama right now. Took the railway to a spot so I can take a special kind of train back that goes through the, like, not through the mountains, around the mountains, so you can see all the panorama and this the beautiful nature. I hope the sun won't kill me. For the record, just put the second layer of sunscreen on me, so I hope I'll be fine. Yeah, probably not, but yeah, Kyoto has been crazy. It's kind of weird having a holiday inside a holiday, to be honest. But yeah, it's very exhausting. I'm walking a lot of steps every day. This reminds me very much of what Noah, Tino and Niklas and I did. So yeah, it's very exhausting, but many funny stories. Like on the first day in Kyoto, when I went to a bar, I met this bartender. I was the only guy there. We were just chatting a little bit because he knew a little bit of English. And he's a bartender, he's a magician, he's a part-time professor, and he sings in a band. So it's like craziest person I've met in Japan so far in his early 40 years. And I met his wife and his kid because they eventually came by. We're just trying to talk with broken Japanese from my side and broken English from their side, so it was kind of funny. And yeah, the next day I went to Kobe. Went to my first onsen. Obviously I couldn't record anything there. The day was really bad. It was raining so much, which is kind of unlucky because there would have been, because of holidays, there would have been a firework at display there, but unfortunately the rain was so heavy, so it was not possible. Yeah. But first onsen, I gotta say, this shit is actually kind of fire, man. Like, it actually is fire, like it burns. It's so hot, like 42, 44 degrees Celsius. It's very hot water. But yeah, it's crazy. I can tell this is definitely something else than just putting in some soap or like special, I don't know, stuff you could do at home. It's nothing like it. The water was golden, which was crazy. And it was a natural golden color because of the minerals. That's why also the onsen was called the golden onsen. And yeah, went to 2 onsen back to back, and since it was so rainy and kind of cold for the day, it was actually kind of perfect. Like, I couldn't have planned this better. And yeah, where I'm staying in Kyoto in an Airbnb, and I searched up something where like I could stay in a private place, because in many cases you can just sleep, like you share like a space with other people who rent the Airbnb. I didn't want that. So yeah, but I ended up booking a room inside the Japanese family's house, basically, or like just 2 elderly people, probably in their early 90 years or like early 90s, which is crazy. I just sleep upstairs while they're like doing their stuff downstairs, whatever. It's kind of funny because the wife, or the woman, the grandma, more like it, she gave me some recommendations on some shrines that are nearby, because I'm very north part of Kyoto. Last time with my friends, we were pretty much south of Kyoto. So there's like an hour of driving, or a little bit more in between. So it's basically a completely different part of the city. And she gave me recommendations, so I saw there some new places and some more less tourist kind of places. So yeah, I felt a little bit weird. That's why I didn't film as much there, because I was like the only guy there, like with his camera, and I didn't want to be like this guy to be like, oh yeah. I feel more comfortable when other tourists are around, so I like blend in. Because I just, like, for them this is probably very important. I don't know if it's religious or something, or just tradition, but just don't want to be weird about it. And yeah, what else is there? There was some events actually happening on the shrine during the shrine event. There were actually some events going on because of holiday during the shrine, so I just partake in I just watched while a ceremony. Yeah, whatever. Why something happened there. Yeah, and I didn't understand anything, but people were very excited and made pictures and photos, so I did as well. Yeah, and today I went to Arashiyama because this was the place of nature I loved the most when I last visited here. And yeah, went to different sites this time. It was a monkey park, which is like this. Coincidentally, it's the monkey park, and it's at the same time it's like the highest part you can just easily reach by foot and see like whole Tokyo line, the like not skyline, but like the whole panorama of Kyoto you could see. So yeah, it was a little bit on the gray zone of like this veganism and stuff. It wasn't a zoo, but like the monkeys were free to go, I think. Like they weren't in cages and stuff. They just walked around and were like around the mountain you climbed up or walked up. And so yeah, I think they just stay there because they get food from the staff or like whatever. So it was like a mutual beneficial stuff. Like it felt a lot more harmonious than in Nara Park with the deers. There it felt, I don't know, just too much, just too much. Like with the monkeys it was fine. You weren't supposed to get close to them. Definitely not touch them. Don't feed them. Don't interact with them too much. So I guess it's in the gray zone. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, and I took the best possible day for this. Like it's just fucking blue sky, all blue, sunny, but not too hot. Like it's 24, 25 degrees. In the sun, obviously, I'm sweating, but not with my like only when I had my backpack on. So like here it's fine. Obviously my I'm shining a little. This is because of the sunscreen, I think, but I'm not really sweating, so it's actually perfect. Getting here before the hot times. I really like Kyoto. In Kobe, I also met a guy who coincidentally has the exact same birthday as me, and we were probably born just hours apart, considering the time difference in 7+ hours, because yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, like, look at our passes, and they were like the exact same dates as we were born. This was the only Japanese guy I really talked to in Kobe, apart from like restaurants and stuff. Just randomly we were at Starbucks and had a problem because you needed to order something with your app, and I didn't have the Japanese app. Yeah, so we just talked a lot. It was kind of funny. I actually had the more fun experiences here in Kyoto with the Japanese locals. I think many locals in Kyoto more openly tell you that they're like annoyed about you being here, but also there's like the other extreme where like the people will just go up and talk to you and be nice to you. Because in Tokyo everyone's like just looking away, just doesn't want to like really interact with you or like with anyone basically. It doesn't have to do with like the tourists. They're like just so self-centered. Sounds so judgmental, but it's just, I don't know, they just don't want to interact in any way. Yeah, the reason why I couldn't record here is right now I came a little bit late for the ticket. I cannot, this is a little bit annoying. My credit card, I don't know what happened. The last time I didn't realize, I can only do like 4 or 5 purchases a day with the credit card, and the amount doesn't really matter. This didn't come up last time when we were in Japan. We just didn't spend as much, or I didn't spend as much. I don't know, it just didn't happen. Now my card just doesn't work anymore. If I pay a lot with my mobile phone, when it's allowed, you can just touch with your phone to pay. It counts as paying with my card, so my card doesn't work anymore because it's constantly like at its limit. But I can keep paying with the same card credentials, but via my Google Pay or like phone app, which is kind of weird. As long as I can touch the display, I can pay. If I put the card in, I cannot pay. Or if I put the card, like the physical card, on the display, even with the touch NFC shit, doesn't pay. Only my phone pays. This is like I would be so fucked if this didn't work. I was so confident last time through our last trip that I could just do anything with this card, because my card was the only one that worked for us. And yeah, a little bit my thoughts wandered around again, but I'm waiting here because I'm taking the train back to Arashiyama, and the reason is because I couldn't reserve the ticket online because they would only take your credit card. I had to come here and just pray I can get a ticket for this train physically, because I just couldn't know, like didn't find out. I always asked ChatGPT, said it's fine. I'm like, all right, let's go there. Even if he hallucinates, maybe it's fine. And it was fine, worked out. But I got the train an hour later, so I have to like sit here and wait. And coincidentally, it's just like the perfect time to record. Yeah, a little bit of audio for whatever footage I made, because this time there's a lot of footage because I walked around so much in touristy areas, so I can actually record stuff. But yeah, it's the second to last day before I go back to Tokyo, and it's so weird, like having a holiday inside of a holiday. Like I'm not on holiday in Tokyo, but it kind of feels like it. It's a little bit crazy to think about. Yeah, and it was definitely worth it. Obviously, one day I was in Osaka for the DJ event. It was 5.5 hours inside like a hall. It was like a mix of a concert and a club. It was not really a club, but more like a concert hall, and everyone stands in line just listens. Every DJ has like 20 minutes. There was like 15 of them or 16. And yeah, 5.5 hours, you're just standing there. And the Japanese people are so funny, man. Like there's like some people, like it's a hardcore EDM event, like hardcore as a genre. Like I don't know what BPM that is, but it's like doom 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 doom. It's just giga quick. And most of the time, like there are some Japanese people, like they went there willingly, like they paid for this. So, but the most like energy that's coming off of them, from most of them, is like only this. Just this. They just do this 5.5 hours straight, and it ties a little bit into this. Like they don't want to bother anyone. It's a very full hall, so they don't want to like get crazy because everyone's like rather tight together. It's not that tight, but if you like get out with your arms a bit, then yeah, it's annoying people, and so that's just, I think, part of it. Or like Japanese people just party differently. It felt a little bit like an idol concert. At least there appear to be some rules as to like how to party or how to act, because like, at certain parts of certain songs, people just started like doing certain hand movements, and it was like very like simultaneously, and many people did it at the same time, as there were like, I don't know, certain rules. I know from idol culture there are rules how to move to certain like parts of the music. It's like an event you actively partake in, and that's how it felt. Not really like clubbing, more like an event, which was interesting to see. And obviously they were talking a lot in Japanese, and was just like not getting the jokes and stuff. People were laughing. It was just like, sorry, nah, I don't get shit. They speak so fast. I some words I understand, but it's also, there's a dialect here in Kyoto, Osaka. It's the Kansai dialect, so there are different meanings in words. So even if I can speak Japanese on a decent level, I would still be a little bit caught off guard by how different they sound a little bit here. But it was amazing. I mean, apart from I'm dying, my knees were dying because I was just standing straight all 5.5 hours. I was just standing on the same spot because you couldn't really dance or move. Like the other body was moving, this you could a little bit control, but you were like just mildly jumping from time to time to the music, but you just went with the crowd of not really going too hard, even though it's like one of the hardest EDM genres that there is. On one hand, it's a little bit annoying because you want to vibe more with the music, but on the other hand, it's very nice. Even in a very full concert hall, you can just have a little bit of breathing room for yourself. Like you don't get bumped all the time, or like, yeah. So it has pros and cons. It was a very interesting experience. It just was so exhausting because I didn't know where I could look up the lineup, and so I didn't want to miss the 3-4 DJs I especially like: Camellia, USAO, t+pazolite, Kobaryo. Just some Japanese DJs. It's like I will never see something like this ever again. Like no event like this will probably happen anywhere. Like it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. In Germany, Europe would never. Like they also have the same genre of music, but I don't know. The Japanese people just do it differently. Just like how they always do it differently here. It's just a very unique vibe, very unique sound. Yeah, so all in all, it was a crazy trip. Most of it was like the DJ event was planned and Arashiyama was planned. The rest was more like just went with the vibe. Actually, I don't know. Like one, obviously, like I have 3 important guides here. One is the vegan Happy Cow app. The second one is ChatGPT, and the third one is locals. The local people, especially my living space right now, just tell me where to go, what's nice out there. They recommended me the onsen in Kobe. Yeah, and most of the time just ask ChatGPT, okay, what can you do in this city, and just look it up and just check all the stuff out. And sometimes ChatGPT gives me some recommendations that aren't that much, like obviously it's tourist attractions, but it's not the most obvious ones. So like the monkey park, it is probably very obvious, but at least it's something we didn't do last time with like Tino and whatever, so it wasn't maybe everywhere. Yeah. I'm probably burning here in the sun. Might as well maybe put a little bit more on my arms, but yeah, kind of glad I bought. No, these pants are so fire. Like I got these pants for so cheap a couple weeks ago, secondhand pants, and they're like very thin, very like it's just perfect Japanese pants, perfect for this weather, because you can tell again and again that the Japanese people just don't want to be like in the sun, don't want to be getting any tan or any sunburn like me, probably. Just we cannot stay in the sun as long. But yeah. The next weeks will probably be a little bit more, I don't know, like I will be maybe continue clubbing, because that's what like the group of people I hang out with like just do. I don't know what I'm gonna do the next weeks, because I'm just, after this I will be a little bit like satisfied with venturing out, so we'll probably take it a little bit slower and just stay at home. Even though like staying at home in Tokyo it still feels like shit. I don't know, just staying in the storm, it just doesn't feel very nice. Maybe it's the same thing I had when I lived in Kaiserslautern. I just never really felt at home there, like in the specific room I live in. Like the Tokyo and Kyoto and stuff, like I feel fine with everything around me. It's just this one, the bad feeling has settled long ago. I'm feeling very content, very happy with everything's going. Just living in my very tiny room there is just, I don't know, doesn't fulfill me in any way. So I want to go out, but I don't know what to do for a whole day that doesn't involve like spending a lot of money. Because just it would be so expensive. But apart from the money, like it's also exhausting to go out all the time, and yeah, the ideas just don't add up. So cannot come up with interesting things every day. It's just, even though there's so much to do in Tokyo, most of it is very similar. Like if I'm going sightseeing, that's just always the same. Like even though I go play arcades very often, I don't do them every day. Like even though I could, I don't do them every day, because there comes a time, there comes a moment when it's so repetitive. Even though you loved it, and I will miss it the moment I leave here. I cannot do this all the time here. I think it's very human that even things you were looking forward to, you cannot do them every day. I don't know. Yeah, maybe plans. Now that maybe that's also interesting. This is the first time ever like I've been completely alone right now. Like, okay, I have these grandparents, these elderly people who are with me, but technically, like, I don't have my friends from Tokyo, and I don't have anyone here. So this was the first time truly traveling alone. So yeah, and I don't feel bad about it. Like I only felt bad the first week, and it's the same with like at home, that feeling lonely and being lonely are like just two different things, you know. Being alone is fine for me most of the time, but sometimes you feel like physically alone, I mean, is most of the time fine for me. But feeling alone can be very, devastating for your psyche. I don't know. But when it's just a matter of can I get my social interactions if I want them. At home, I always can get them. I can always hit someone up, ask them, and I will. If I try really hard, I will be able to meet someone at home. And the same thing happens now in Tokyo, so I'm not I'm not having this lonely feeling anymore. And here it just continued, because even though I have no way of like connecting with people here or like be social, it's just maybe it's just because it's not too long. It's just 5 days and I will be back. I know it's not as long, because in Tokyo maybe I wasn't very sure if everything would be working out. So I knew I had 5 months ahead of me, so maybe that was like the reason why it was so difficult. But since I've had a good time with these 5 days here, as long as I have something to do, I can do something more or less every day, I'm totally fine. So I will continue doing this probably after the university. I don't know how long I will do it. Probably depending on how the money holds up and stuff, but I want to visit Okinawa, the like Caribbean kind of islands in Japan. Very like beautiful beaches, very like big nature. It's not that much of a tourist space. It is, but most people just visit Japan for Tokyo, not for Okinawa. So meet more like probably Asian people there who have holidays there. I want to go to Hokkaido if possible, way up in the north, the northern part of Japan. Maybe in the hottest part of summer when I'm here, because it's a lot cooler there and I don't die, because in Tokyo apparently I got told over and over again that Tokyo in summer is horrendous. And I mean, last time we felt that it was very hot, but it keep telling me that June is still fine. Wait till July and August. And I'm like, holy shit. Getting attacked. I'm like, holy shit in both senses. But yeah, also want to visit Fukuoka. It's also like a very nature place. But there are some places I still want to visit. Maybe Hiroshima also. Yeah, there's just so many places to visit. Even though I had some plans of visiting the other countries before, I might not be interested right now. I might just visit different places in Japan. It's where I feel comfortable. I don't want to have this all over again in a different country maybe, so yeah. And it's cheaper that way also. Alright, I think it's time that I get back to my train. So yeah, I wish you a good time, and we will see each other in a probably way shorter and way less interesting video next 2 weeks. So yeah, have a good one, guys. See ya.
皆さんまだまだ声出し足りてないんじゃないかと思います。どうですか？声出せる曲持ってきました。盛り上がっていきましょう。大阪といえば難波、難波といえば難波でナンパじゃないよということで
All night.